Okay, today's video, we are going to talk about cross-account conversion tracking. Meaning, tracking conversions across all your PPC accounts that you may be running. If you have more than one PPC account, what you could do is you could set up a manager account, or MCC account as they call it in the industry, as to what also Google calls it, that can manage multiple accounts. But also with that, you have the capability through that manager account to set up goals for one account and then share them to all the rest of the accounts that you have, so that if you're promoting one website across multiple accounts for whatever reason, of which there's different reasons I'll go through in this video, but you only have to set up the goals once, and you only have to worry about testing and verifying that they're working once for all of the accounts and not have to repeat the work you're doing across all of your accounts. So this is going to cover what this is actually going to do for you, why you're going to do it, and how to make money from it, how to make more profit from what you're doing. Having this actual cross-account conversion tracking set up for your account versus manually setting up goals for each account that you may have separately. So as I mentioned, with this setup, it's going to be, you have doesn't matter if you have one or 100 different PPC accounts. Each account can be linked together through a manager account or MCC account, and then once you set up tracking through any one individual account, okay, you can share it across the others through creating the conversion goals at the MCC level of your setup once you got your accounts linked together through your manager account, and then applying that MCC level conversion tracking to all your other accounts. Now, with that said, if you have conversion tracking set up on your individual accounts now, you will have to replace the conversion tracking you set up at the MCC level in order to do this so-called cross-account conversion tracking that I'm talking about here. But that's fine. And the reasons why you would actually want to set up the conversion goals at the MCC level versus the individual account level is, given that if you're just promoting one website across all these different accounts, it'll prevent you from having to, as I mentioned at the start of this video, manage goals, conversion goals for each account separately. It's a hard enough job to do conversion tracking correct for one account. If you have to now do it for 50, you're talking about a lot of work. But not only that, there's even more work involved when you're talking about maintaining the tracking across multiple accounts. If you've watched my other videos before, I talk about how the lifeblood of your Google Ads results is based upon the quality and quantity of conversion tracking data that you have in your advertising account. Why? Because Google's Ads system runs off a machine learning algorithm now. It's been that way for at least 5 years now. So when you start out an ad account, Google is going to send you the worst, least likely to convert traffic and charge you the highest prices for it. Whereas the guy you see that you think is spending 50 grand a month and making it look so easy, the reality is he went through the trenches at the beginning of running his account, paying the highest prices for the least converting traffic to get to where he was, where he's paying 20% of the cost per click he started out with, and now getting conversion rates that are 5 to 10 times high as what he started out with, making all the difference in being able to afford to completely cement your ad at the top of Google and making so much money, it's a drop in the bucket to maintain it in terms of the advertising cost, because you're making so much damn money from those ads. And if you want that position, you got to start out like everybody else, put together the right ad, the right landing page that's going to actually serve Google's users better than the other people that you're advertising next to right now. So Google notices you that you're doing a good job, lowers your cost per click that you're getting charged, but more importantly, send you traffic that's most likely to convert, given the algorithm that runs the ads can tell the likelihood of somebody that's coming through Google is likely to convert or not likely to convert, or at what likelihood. Because they can see everything that person's done for the last 10 years. What websites they visited, what research they've done beforehand, who they are, how much money they have. When somebody comes through typing in red shoes, they know that person's 90% likely to convert, 50, whatever, and really good at this because they have all the data from all the users on Google. Not only that, but all the data from your niche from the last 10 years. So with that said, it's all predicated on data. That is your results that you're going to get with your ad account. You want to do everything you can to get the best quality data in your account because that's going to get you the most results, and it's going to get you to the other side of this thing as quick as possible. That is on Google's good sites where all the profits are. 20% of the people in your market's going to be making 80% of the profits because of how this system is set up. Okay? So, but the thing is, you got to track if you're generating leads, not only if the leads are qualified or that the leads come in, either phone call, form fill, chat, whatever, but if the leads are qualified, how much they're buying, and get that data in your account as well if you're serious about making millions of dollars with your ads. Or if you're doing just e-commerce, if you got more than 10% of your orders that occur offline, getting that data back into your account so you have the best quality data for the algorithm to get you the results that you want. Notice that you're doing good, so trying to pour all the good people that's most likely to convert on your account. But not only that, they're still going to split tests and find out, okay, male versus female, how one each well converts, rich versus poor, and get you more results over time. But they can only do that for you based upon the data you give them. So if you give them shit data, they can only get you so good of results. So it makes no sense not to invest the maximum amount of money you can and time in setting up the best conversion tracking that's going to provide the clearest picture on who buys from you and who doesn't buy from you. So you can't complain that you're not getting results unless you've done that at a minimum. When your competition doesn't do that, really only about 60% of the people that I see on the accounts I audit even do any kind of tracking at all. You're way ahead of the game doing any kind of tracking, but the level of tracking where you're tracking every last sale, generally nobody does that. Unless you're in a space where it's all just cart purchase tracking, and then, like I said, like 60% at least will have it, and so you'll have some advantage, but not as huge as of an advantage if you're doing lead generation, because almost nobody tracks the lead all the way to a sale and then plug that data about what happened to the lead into your account for the algorithm to use. So anyway, with all that said, it's a pain in the butt to set up, and then on top of that, it's a pain in the butt to manage because tracking just spontaneously breaks all the time. It just does. Okay, so you cannot set up your tracking thinking you're all high and mighty, that you followed my instructions here and that the millions should just start pouring into your bank account automatically because you did that work. No, you got to every month at least test every one of those conversion goals and make sure they're still working. And if you are relying significantly on the Google Ads traffic, keep your business going, you need to be checking that thing every 2-3 days to make sure the goals are working. Because if the goals break, guess what? Your account's going to go completely off into left field. It's going to get confused and it's going to go back into learning mode. And when it goes back into learning mode, it doesn't send the best quality people to you anymore. The conversion rates go down, on and on and on. So you got to test the tracking all the time, even after you get it set up. You do not want to be doing this shit 10 times in a row every single month. It's not feasible whatsoever. Not only that, if you're kind of trying to see if your ad budget that you have should go 20% here on this account, 40% here on this account, you don't want to be having different conversion goal standards on every account. That would just be idiotic because you're not going to get, you can't run proper tests. So there's multiple reasons why you would only want to set up your goals at the MCC level. Even though it's going to be a lot of work and you already have goals tracked now, switching over that so that you have a universal way to track everything so you know what really works compared to something else on a different account. In order to set up the MCC Level Goal Tracking, all you got to do is go under the log into your MCC account once you got it, that is, click on Accounts on the left-hand side of your account, and then go under the sub-account settings, which is a button in the sub-menu that should pop up, and then there should be a column that says Google, and text underneath that column that says Google Ads Conversion Account. You click on that for each account that you have listed under your list of accounts there, and you can decide if the goals that account should use and pay attention to for the bidding purposes and so forth, and just the data that they show in the conversions menu of that account is going to pull from the conversion data or conversion goals for that account at that account level itself, or is it going to look at the goals from the MCC level that you set up. Because it can only be one. You can only look at the goals from the ad account itself or the MCC, not both. Okay? Which obviously, the reason why they set it up that way, because they didn't want conflicts or duplication of the data. So, in terms of navigating where you need to go for all this, that's where you're going to decide on each, basically after you set up your conversion goals at the MCC level, where you're going to go ahead and switch the goals that Google is going to pay attention to for each account. So you can switch it from the account level to the MCC level goals. All right? So it's actually pretty simple to make that switch at the end. You just got to set up all your goals at the MCC level, go into your MCC account level settings under sub-accounts, and then start switching account by account what goals, either MCC or account level goals that individual account should pay attention to, and do that for each account in your list. So anyway, this is going to be a fairly short video. There's not too much to just talk about here. I gave you some background as to why you want to do this, of course, and how it's going to be profitable, because you're going to have more consistency in your tracking across all of your accounts. And as a result of that, you're going to be able to more accurately decide where budget should go. And because it's more feasible to test your goals all the time, because you'll have to test one set of goals for all of your accounts, your data is going to be better quality moving forward. And because all the accounts run half or more of your results just is going to be based upon the quality of the data you provide Google Ads, you're going to be more profitable over time because you made this switch. And I do mean half or more of your results is just down to the quality of the conversion data, because I literally see accounts where somebody doesn't have a clue that their ads are not working or whatever, and they've been running them for years like that. And the account, the reason why it wasn't profitable for them is because the campaigns were set up like dog shit. But if you let a dog shit campaign with proper conversion tracking run long enough, it'll become profitable one day, whether that be 2 years down the road, whatever. And so what we'll always have to do as someone trying to come in and to improve their numbers, we'll have to come in and set up new campaigns side by side with your old campaigns that are just set up like a rat's nest, and let them run side by side for months before the algorithm picks up the new campaigns that are structured better and have better potential, and then start devoting a serious portion of the ad traffic for those keywords to the new campaigns. Or if it's display, the traffic from that audience into the new campaign that targets that same audience or whatnot there. So, anywhere from like 1 month, usually it's more like 1 to 3 months, all the way to like 18 months in the future, we'll have to run the campaign side by side. The longer that the crappy campaigns have been running, the longer it will take the new campaigns that are set up with, that are 10 out of 10 quality-wise to catch up to the performance of the old campaigns, because the old campaigns you could do well with shitty campaigns with just enough data behind them, if you will. You could have a 3 out of 10 quality campaign in terms of the setup quality that's been running for 3 years, and you set up a 10 out of 10 campaign to outdo it. And in that situation, a lot of times it'll take 6 months before you can actually, if you wanted to make more money, run the new campaigns exclusively. So just to give you some sort of idea how important tracking is nowadays. And respectively, everybody thinks Google Ads is just like a light switch, that they're going to come in, they're going to turn it on, they're going to be rich right away. If that's all it took, your competitors would have done that 10 years ago already, or whatever. I'm embellishing here. And if you had it, somebody else that has $5 in their pocket would be able to come in after you and take it away from you. Anything that's easy to do in marketing isn't going to be worth shit unless nobody knows about it. But everybody knows about Google Ads, so the difference between you and somebody else making all the millions of dollars a year in profit that Google Ads can provide is just simply down to, are you going to do a better job for Google's users than the other person or other people that are there? If so, you get all the money or most of the money. And if not, you get pushed to the side by Google through shit traffic that they're going to charge you top dollar for, and you can't finance that forever, and you'll go away, and that's what they want. So with that said, and on top of it all, even if you set up the best ad in the world, best landing page in the world, it's going to take them months to figure out, usually, that it's even that good and that it's better than the competition and that you should get the preferable treatment from Google. So you got to go ahead and do better than your competition in terms of ad and landing page, in terms of top click-through rates in your space, top conversion rates in your space. Set it up, run it for a few months at a loss, because Google is going to treat you like 9 out of 10 people that come to Google Ads that just barely try and do a shit job, and their ads suck, and the users are pissed off by their ads, and treat you like a second-class citizen for the first few months because they think you're going to be like everybody else that comes to Google, or 9 out of 10 people that come to Google with their ads, and then wait for them to figure out that you're not like the guy who spends 15 minutes setting up his campaign and thinks he should be instantly rich. And then eventually the story changes, charging you less money for higher quality traffic. Now you get to the other side of profitability, and then it just keeps getting more and more profitable from there. Where people go wrong is that they say, oh, it's been 3 months, my ads don't work, Google's a ripoff. No, you just didn't wait long enough. And sometimes if your ads suck, it doesn't matter how long you wait, it won't work. Yes, but even if you set it up right, it's a progressive buildup in your profitability for campaigns. The more data you get, the better the quality the results is going to get, because Google's going to recognize your ads better all the time, and they're going to understand who your customers are and who they're not. And so a lot of times it'll take 6 months for it to work, and people don't like that because they don't want to invest anything into marketing and with no return, when really you got to invest that up front just to get to the other side of profitability. And then what you make year 5 on a month-to-month basis pays for that entire 6 months. It's hard to get into people's heads a lot of times that it's worth it still to run the ads at a loss for 6 months just so that you can get to the other side of profitability, because you're going to make $10 million in the next 10 years once it gets to the other side of profitability. It's beyond worth it. They just don't. They're so apprehensive about, oh, maybe it won't work, that they're just never going to get past having to put money into something that it's not going to work for a while, just so you can get something that works. And because you're not going to do it, though, by the way, somebody else is going to take it, and they're going to get the tens of millions of dollars in sales, and you're not. And that's how life is with Google nowadays. So you got to do everything you can for their users to give them something they didn't already have, because there's no shortage of people who that want the customers you want, and you got to be patient, pay your dues, and then it's going to be profitable, and then more and more profitable over time after that point in time. That is the way that it is. Unless you're in a niche with no competition and high demand still for what you're selling, and then yes, it can work right away. But if you have 10 competitors cycling in and out of those 4 ad spots in a space, it's not going to be taking you, it's not going to work right away, just period, point blank. So with that said, I'll wrap it up with that. If you have any questions, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours time. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, you absolutely should, as the information on this channel, I promise you, is better information that's more relevant and helping you make millions of dollars with your ads than you're going to find anywhere else online, including YouTube. Because most of the information you see is coming from people who don't actually run ads, or they run a couple ads. That's it. I run dozens of ad accounts on an ongoing basis, and I'm just solely responsible for strategy on those accounts. Therefore, all I do is just test different ad techniques, and therefore the information is more relevant than you're going to find anywhere else. And I share it with you all for free on this channel. So you should subscribe if you're serious about making money with ads, at the very least, and pay attention to what I have versus, or in addition to anything else you think is important, basically. So subscribe if you haven't. Also, I also have a blog on my site at guaranteedppc.com/blog, where on this channel I have high-level information. On my blog I have step-by-step strategies that work to get results basically every time, which are our go-tos at our advertising agency to get guaranteed results for our clients. The strategies are step-by-step instructions with screenshots with the whole shebang that are our go-to strategies to use, and you should check those out as well, because it's even better information than what I'm actually providing you on this channel already. Even though both are useful, you should like that even more. So you should check that out as well if you aren't aware of it and haven't looked at that information yet. Beyond that, if you're looking for somebody to get you results, don't want to put the work and time in to do all this stuff, and just would like to pay someone to do it that's going to get you a return, this is exactly what I do for clients at our advertising agency. We do all the stuff we talk about on this channel. And we do not take a fee if we cannot increase your profitability of your ads a certain minimum amount up front which we would tell you what we would do before we even start the project. The catch is you got to have something we know we can knock out of the park that has a lot of potential. If you want to see if we can work together, reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. I'd be happy to give you a free analysis and assessment on what kind of results we could get for you. If there's results there to get, you won't know if you don't reach out and find out for yourself. With that, and talk to me, I'd be happy to have a quick conversation with you about it, regardless of what you're selling or doing. Beyond that, if you don't want to work with an ad agency per se, you want to manage your own ads. Many people do want to manage their own ads. That's cool. However, if we worked in your niche market before, you should take the winning ads and landing pages and campaign templates we have for your niche market, buy them from us outright so you can use all of them in your ad account, because you could probably get much better results than you're getting now with none of the work and time and money we had to actually spend in your niche market to get to those results, that we had to fight to get those results, to be able to get those results. We've worked in over 100 niche markets in the last 10 years of running this agency, so the chances are high. We've already figured out all the stuff that you need to get the kind of results that you want in your niche market, and spent literally millions of dollars in advertising spend to find out. With that said, you should at least reach out and see if we got results in your niche market and what results we got, because obviously you're not going to save money trying to figure out the same exact stuff for yourself than buying our template. We've got people using these templates, by the way, to even start other businesses, where they're going to start a lead selling business, use our template to generate leads at a rock bottom cost and flip them and sell them to other people in that niche space, which is a great passive income business idea, by the way. Or they wanted to get into e-commerce, they weren't familiar with it, they were smart, and they realized, why don't we just start with one of these templates that we know sell an item profitably in one market, and we're going to sell it in another, and if it works in one country, it'll work in another country, and our client's never going to be in that other country, so it's just wide open for you to use there, and knock it out of the park right away with very little knowledge. It's like a business in a box, so to say. If you're interested in any of those other opportunities, reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. With that said, I'll wrap everything up with that. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.